Hi everyone, Big Mac here. Welcome to Let's Play Yoshi Story for the Nintendo 64. Today let's start off in World 1-3, Stage 1-3, the Rail Lift. When you first start a round of Yoshi Story in the Story mode, or even in the tutorial or the trial mode, you get to pick a favorite fruit. Basically what that favorite fruit is going to be is that's going to help you regain your health as Yoshi progresses through the level. If Yoshi eats his favorite fruit, he will refill his health all the way. So of course, this being the first level of our particular run-through of Yoshi's story, I'll be explaining a lot of the basic mechanics of what's going on in this particular game. So Yoshi and friends have to go retrieve the Super Happy Tree, and they have to do that in a number of different ways. So for each of the 6 stages, or each of the 6 levels that they have to go through, they can pick up to, or one of up to 4 stages. How many stages you can choose from actually depends on some of the material that you collect during the course of the previous stage. For that previous stage, there are things called Super Happy Hearts. They're just like huge, giant hearts with smiley faces on them. We'll actually have to collect 3 of those in order to access every possible level in the next stage. Even if we don't collect any, we'll always have at least one to choose from. However, we would like to find all 3, so that way we have as many different ways to choose our path as possible. Some levels are admittedly harder than others, and some are easier than others. So you want to try and check around different ones to see which ones are your favorite. Maybe just have a favorite level too. So, what are we doing? So how do we actually progress through these stages? In each stage, the main objective for Yoshi is to collect 30 fruits. In fact, this can be any combination of fruits that are available in the stage. So, they can be among your favorite fruits. Each Yoshi also has a lucky fruit, which is basically the same color as that particular Yoshi. So, green Yoshi, like his lucky fruit he also likes to eat watermelons. Yellow Yoshis like to eat bananas. Pink and red Yoshis like to eat apples. And blue and light blue Yoshis like to eat grapes as well. So those don't give you quite as much health back as your favorite fruit, but they still help you out a lot in your journey. As you can see, Yoshi has a health meter, which is measured by flower petals. So usually getting hit by a creature normally takes away 2 to 3 little pieces, and either he can replenish it in a number of different ways. One, by finding a Super Happy Heart, at least found in the clouds there. Another is by eating various enemies, even Shy Guys or other fruits. So like I was mentioning earlier, is that you have to collect 30 fruits in order to advance to the next stage in Yoshi's storybook. So for each, like I mentioned, you can already pick any kind of fruit that you want. What I'm trying to do in particular is I'm trying to collect just a certain kind of melon. It turns out that you have to eat 30 fruits per stage, and there are exactly 30 melons per stage. So that makes it pretty exciting to try and find them all, and not all of them are very obviously in sight. Some of them you might have to do a little bit extra work for, but you should be able to find them all in time. Getting back to this particular stage, Stage 1-3, the Rail Lift, Yoshi has to navigate riding on top of these clouds in order to reach the end of the stage. If you actually do reach the end of the stage, that doesn't mean you're at the end of the stage. That's literally where the stage ends, but you still have to complete the level. Like I mentioned already, you have to get 30 fruits to complete the level. If you actually reach the end, the physical end of the stage, you actually can warp back to the beginning of the stage, or to any of the other numbered warps that you may have seen already by me jumping on Miss Warp. So you can jump on them, and you can easily transport from one to the other. So of course Yoshi has a number of mechanics in this game. He can throw eggs, he can jump, he can do a flutter kick to try and stay in the air for just a little bit longer. Yoshi can also use a sniffing ability to try and find particular hidden items. Often these items can be anything from switches to melons or even coins. Also, in most levels there is this particular mini-game that helps Yoshi earn more melons. What it is per stage depends, it varies by stage, but usually it involves either some notion of carrying melons from a start point to an end point, or a particular race where you have to go past a certain number of obstacles in a certain amount of time. If you can do this perfectly, your reward is 7 melons. And if you eat 6 melons or 6 of any fruit in a row, you'll collect a little happy heart. It just so happened that eating that little happy heart revealed a letter. In each stage is a particular letter, and if you look at all of the letters from all the stages, it actually reveals a message. So that is something that you may want to try and figure out what that message is for yourself. Now, like I said earlier, if by eating 6 fruits in a row, you activate that little happy heart. It can actually be 6 of any fruit. Your lucky fruit, or just any 6 of the same kind of fruit that you find. So, of course, having it be melons is a little easier, in the sense that if you're trying to find them all, then you've already got a collection of them at hand. In this particular stage, what Yoshi has to then now do is Yoshi has to get to the very end of the stage in a very short amount of time. He has to navigate these cloud rails, or these rail lifts, hence the name of the stage, in order to access 2 melons that are at the way end of the stage. There's a third happy heart up there. Oh man, can we get it? Let's get it later. Unfortunately, there is a timer in this, so we actually had to hit the switch to extend our time that we had to reach the end of the level. So, unfortunately, if we miss a couple things, we are going to have to, kind of backtrack a little bit. We can either try just walking back to the left of the stage, or we could try using one of the Miss Warps that are around to a previous spot. So what Yoshi is doing at this point is he is finding these switches that are just kind of hidden behind hidden behind panels, and every time that Yoshi hits the panel with an egg, he is able to elongate the time that he has to get over to the end of the level. I believe this is the last one necessary, so we have to keep adjusting the tracks on the rail, very much like train tracks, to make sure that we get to the end. And fortunately, we made it in time. These 2 melons are our reward at that point. So if you guys already noticed, there was Miss Warp number 4. That vase will actually warp you back to the very beginning of the level if you wanted to start from there. Yoshi can, of course, use his sniffing ability to try and find either melons or coins or some other kind of specialty item to help in its quest. There is some items are in bubbles. You can pop those using your eggs. Let's try and quickly go back to get the last super happy heart. In order to access all 4 of the possible stages, you have to find all 3 super happy hearts. If you find 1, you can access 2 stages. If you find 3, or if you find 2, you can access 2 stages. Now going back to the very end of the level, I cut out a little bit of time. We can pop our bubbles with an eggshell, collect our last melon. This is a complete 30 melon run for stage 1-1. Or, sorry, 1-3. 1-3. I hope I've been saying 1-3 this entire time. Anyway, after you collect the level, or after you finish the level, no matter what combination of fruits you picked up, you receive a score. Of course, you can get different points for collecting coins, defeating enemies in various ways, and of course the melons, or the particular fruits that you pick up. After you complete that stage, you get a apart from the storybook. New to the world, the babies didn't know much, but they knew to keep trying. With teamwork, the Yoshis could find the tree at the end of the book. Shy Guys tried to keep them down. By riding on clouds, the Yoshis happily escaped. The page turned, and the Yoshis grew happier. So that'll conclude actually our romp through level 1. We now skip to page 2, the cavern. There are 4 possible stages to choose from. Feel free to continue your adventure in whichever stage you want. Until then, this is Big Mac saying, later.